Hi everybody, welcome back. I thought that I'd talk about and do some neuro art today, but some really simple one. I want to show you how that you can wrap neuro lines around things like items and elements and things like that. So I've just picked out a pair of scissors, simply an old pair of scissors, because I've placed them on the page and I've drawn around them, and you can do the same with either lots of pairs of scissors or one big set, or you can do your paint palette if you want to. That would be nice, or a paintbrush. Yeah, for practicing. You can put it on your paper and just draw around it. If you can't draw, this is what I'm saying. I just want you to pick an item and draw around it. Once you've drawn around it, I want you to start from the edge of the page and come in with your neuro line. And when you get to the item, you stop, and then you come out the opposite side and go off the edge of the page. And start from a different direction, going across, but this time going over the top, and then carrying on and straight off your page. It's really, really simple. I've done this in like fruity colours of like a lemon and a pale red, and I've just done the scissors in blue. And then at the very end, I've just added some splatters, because once I've done the neuro lines, you can either leave it like that, or you can go that one step further and you can block in several blocks at a time and areas in one colour and mix around like that. You could do them with crayons, acrylics, you can do them with whatever. I've just used watercolour today just because it was quick and easy, and I used a large cheap brush. This one, it says Wilko's on it, an old brush, but I hadn't used it, so I've literally dipped that in the water paint and I've done loosely all over it. I also then sprinkled on top some isopropyl alcohol. Be very careful with this. I've just made a big mistake. If you're going to sprinkle this onto your wet paint, which creates these beautiful cells, that's all very well and good, but you must wear gloves because it burns straight through. I've just done all that, and I had to go wash my hands off, and I've had to then put Sudocrem all over my hands, and it's calmed them down a bit now. You can't see anything now, so obviously it's done the trick. But yes, very dangerous, so be very careful. If you wanted then at the end of your picture to finish it off, you could, once it's all dry, you could gel medium over the top. If you want to. I've got, mine's not quite dry yet, so I'm not going to do mine yet. Just a gel medium, a gloss gel medium I use. It goes on white, but then it dries optically clear. So that's all easy then, isn't it? And it protects your work. I don't really bother, if I'm honest, because it's just in my sketchbook with all my others. Nearly filled this sketchbook now, so it's about time for a sketchbook tour. I shall have to show you that, of all the neuro art that I have done in there. Done a little bit of neurographica as well. Remember that they're both different. This is neuro art. And I've used something else I wanted to explain, because I don't explain it very well in the video. So I use Micron Graphic permanent water resistant markers. And you can get a pack of them online for something daft like £6 or something like that. And these are what I use for all my drawing as well. This one is a 0.5, but also in your set you get like little brush ones. I'm just trying to think where I've just put it. I think it's here. Yes, and it'll say BR on it, or you can buy them separate and they come like that. There's different kinds, different widths and everything, so but I've gone over mine really thick and heavy with that, which I wouldn't normally do. I like to do mine very intricate when I'm working personally for myself, very intricate and very tight. My fingers are still tingling. It's very intricate and very tight, and lots of lines, and I prefer to do that more than the blocking in now. But I wanted to show it you this way so that you can see it. It's not easy to see things on camera, so so I thought I would show you and have a go drawing around something, because a lot of things that people get put off with drawing is because they can't draw. So good ways to learn to draw is to just copy something or draw around it. And scissors, pens, as I say, paint palettes, even you are even able to draw around a bottle if it's laid flat and things like that. Just pick things that you can lay down and literally draw around. If not, pick an image online, and as long as it's free, and then trace it onto your paper, and then have a go. Don't let the drawing side of things put you off if you can't draw or feel that you can't draw. I bet you can. Everybody can draw. It's just like all art. You have to find what it is that you're good at drawing. So if you ask me to draw a person and all the features, you know, a portrait picture, representational, I couldn't do it. But if you ask me to draw something out of my head that was imaginary, I can do that. So it's just a matter of finding your style and what it is that you like. But to bring your Neuro Art in is amazing. So because you can wrap it all around them, and why isn't that good? You know, it's different. Everybody else does it. We can all do. I could put a pair of scissors on the page. This is another way, another exercise you can try. Draw around my scissors, and then I could just scribble all over the top really fast, and then I could then you know, go around it in doing all the connections where the lines cross and everything, doing the same, and it would create a different piece of art to what I've got here. But the lines would all be on top, and but whereas if your lines are going through and around and over and under, it feels like it's more encased in the middle of something, and it makes it look more 3D. It gives more depth into your picture. So it's worth doing that, and you'll find that you'll be able to do that in drawing then later on, or acrylic abstract painting, or watercolor if you want to draw something and then bring your watercolor in. You know, it's all good. So anyway, so I'll show you the little video and then have a go. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you've all been keeping well. I've been very busy on Louise Fletcher's course, loving every minute of it, momentum. And yeah, so have a go, enjoy. So here we are. So I'm drawing around some scissors. I've chosen scissors because I thought it was a very simple subject for you to do, and you know, that's something that everybody can do and have a go at. But it's ideal to have something simple like this so that you can practice your neuro lines going up, under and over. But they're quite a big subject to be able to work around, so they're not straightforward. And at the end, when you see it, it looks like that you're snipping through the neuro lines, which is good. So I'm adding watercolour here. You can do this however that you want. I'm doing it. My paper's not very good, that's why it's gone a bit bitty. So I dried it off and then just rubbed the bits of paper that was sticking out a little bit. And then here I'm just using the baby wipe just to pull back some of the paint to add a little bit of, take a bit of the colour away. So I'm just going to show you how to wrap your neuro lines around the items, like a pair of scissors or a paintbrush or something simple. Now I've just done this very, very simply, so I'm just not going to talk if I can help it too much. So I'm going to start over here, and I'm going to bring my line across, my neuro line across, and I'm going to go across my scissors here, then I'm going to stop, and then I'm going to come round and down and out the other side. These are still a little bit wet. And now this time I'm going to come across from here, my line, and I'm going to go across the scissors, and then I'm going to stop, and I'm going to come out the other side. Okay, same again now. This one, we're going to have this one threading through. So I'm going to go over the top, and I'm going to come through, and I'm going to stop. And now this time I'm going to go, same again, over the top, and then I'm going to stop, and then I'm going to come through. So now the line is going actually through the scissors. Okay, I'm going to come up from this side now. We'll go in here. This time I'm going to go over the top and just out to the other side. And then in again from here, crossing over. This time I'm going to stop, and I'm going to come out the other side. And then from here, I'm going to come in, go through. Whoa, this time I'm going to go right over the top and through. I think one more line. This time I'm going to come up. I'm going to stop and come out the other side. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go over these lines a little bit thicker, and then I'm going to start to make the connections. Okay, now I'm going to start make the connections. So rounding off any areas that are pointed. This I'm going to take my time with. Show you I'm doing a few, and then I'll speed it up so I can take my time, because it's not something I like to rush. And I found that once you start doing your rounding off, it's best to continue doing that all in one go, and that's where you'll find the relaxation comes in. So wherever the lines cross, you just round them off. Now I'm not going to make it so that they sucker onto each of these. You can do if you want to, but I'm not going to do that today. I want to actually make them look like that they are actually wrapping round. Okay, so I'll just speed this up. So next we're adding colour. I've just used a light yellow here and made it a little tiny bit orangey. It's a bit more orangey than what you think actually. This is watercolour, and then a pale red, just done it nice and watery, and gone over a few of the sections instead of just, you know, like doing every single section. So here now I'm using isopropyl. Be very careful with this. Make sure your windows are open. Make sure your windows are open anyway if you're painting any kind, even watercolour, but especially when using isopropyl. And don't do what I'm doing here. Always wear gloves. It stung my hands, like I told you in the beginning of the video, so a big warning out here. Isopropyl, it can really burn your skin, so be very careful. And it's so easy to do. You just get carried away because you're using it, and yeah, but be careful. The next step after this, after I'd placed this on, was to dry it with my heat tool. So that's the next thing. So yes, next thing, just added a few splatters, and then the picture was done. Very impressed with it, very enjoyable. I hope you enjoyed the video. So bye for now.